All right, everybody, come on in, come on in. Welcome back to the Elegance Bootcamp, your 30-day Ultimate Elegance Guide. We are your humble hostess, if that's a word. I'm Maggie. You all may know me from my cooking channel. I am all about food and femininity. I love helping feminine women attract and keep the masculine man of their dreams. Lucy and I have founded the Finishing School for the Modern Woman, which is a privately taught 8-week Saturday school. Enrollment is open. We will begin again in January, open to ladies of all ages. If you're interested in etiquette, elegance, femininity, we would love to teach you off of YouTube. So go to the link in the description or teachablemoments.maggie.com. Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself?
And I'm Lucy, also known as Lucasely20. I have a channel that focuses mainly on teaching Spanish, basic and mid, not too advanced. And then I sprinkle from time to time topics about elegance, femininity, and how femininity has affected how the modern world is affected by not having the feminine traits that we have in us, that feminine essence that we've lost it. So now we're getting back into with these daily 30-minute trainings. And let me tell you, last night's session between the pet monkey and the licking the dinner plate, I it was hilarious. The chat was out of control last night, and I loved it.
Yes, and we love you all as well, Lady Devoa. I know you're missing the cooking lives. I haven't gone live with cooking, but I do post every day, so you all can check out my videos. Last month, I did 2 lives a day. I did a lunchtime and an evening live, but to maintain my sanity, we're doing the Elegance Bootcamp from November 1 through November 30th. So the cooking content is still there. This is our way of giving back to the community. I am so grateful that Vivienne Abena, who has her own channel, Woman of Elegance, she has agreed to let us teach from her book. The book is available to you all. Link is in the description. It is the Ultimate Elegance Guide. 30 days of things that you need to start doing to begin your elegance journey. You can get your own copy 20% off with the discount code ELEGANCE20. However, for all of our students, current and future, none other than Brandon L. Jett has made this available complimentary. So current students, it's in your dashboard. Students who want to join us in January, you will get this book for free. All right. So let us recap as we do. Lucy, keep me on time. You know how we can get sidetracked here. We'll recap what we've been doing in case you guys are new here, and then we'll pick up with day number 14. So I am going to share my screen with our little recap. All right, ladies, it's test time. There's several components to an elegant woman. So starting with the outside in, day 1, we talked about making sure your style is your signature style and represents you well. Day 2, make sure you get that closet in order. You want to be instantly elegant. So make sure you have your capsule wardrobe in good condition. Day 3, make sure your shoes and accessories complement your outfit and represent you well from head to toe. Day 4, make sure your hair and your makeup is something that is elegant and simple and you can recreate easily. Day 5, that grooming, ladies, very important. Make sure you always look neat and smell nice. Day 6, make sure you're sitting up straight, holding your chin level. Make sure you work on your posture, ladies. That exudes confidence without saying a word. Then we moved into the conversation etiquette, another favorite topic of mine. Ladies, make sure you learn to listen. Listen twice as much as you speak. On day 8, we talked about taking a moment to think before you talk. Make sure you get your thoughts together before they just come out of your mouth and you wish you had not have said that. Day 9, make sure you practice how to speak articulately, listen and read to things that elevate you, not only entertain you. Day 10, even though you're speaking elegantly, make sure you don't share everything. An elegant woman is a little mysterious, all right? Everything isn't for public consumption. Day 11, make sure you watch that body language. If you have any little ticks and clicks and, little anxious things that you do, just be mindful of that so you show up as confident. Day 12, make sure that you are smart, well-read, knowledgeable about current events, and versatile in any group. We are now in section 3, ladies, one of my absolute favorites, the dining etiquette. Yesterday, we talked a lot about these table manners, and you all had a lot to say. So today, we are going to be talking about using those utensils correctly. No, not your hands. We're actually going to be talking about the utensils. All right. So let me go over to Vivienne's book and we will pick up on where we left off. So let me share this with you all. This is Vivienne's book. It's a digital download. So please check out Woman of Elegance. She also has a YouTube channel and is on all socials. So we have been reviewing this book with her permission, and we are up to day 14, ladies. So I am very excited, whether you've learned this before and you need a refresher or you're hearing it for the first time. Let us begin. Okay, day 14, using utensils correctly. Start with the cutlery at the farthest end and work your way in with each new course. Hold the fork and knife by the handles, your forefinger on the top, and your thumb underneath. Well, you are in luck. I've got some props today, but before I get in, Lucy, would you like to add anything?
No, I think we're ready for the show and tell.
All right, ladies, and we cover this in detail in the finishing school. But if you ever sit down at a table and you're kind of like, oh my goodness, what is that? Everything on the table has a purpose, especially if you're doing fine dining. For each course, there is corresponding cutlery. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And when she says work your way from the outside in, the reason the first course utensils are on the outside is because you use them first, and the wait staff will be removing the cutlery as you get down towards the end. And then sometimes even dessert is up at the top. So don't just get the one that's closest to the plate. Here's a tangible tip. If you're ever a little bit lost, take a moment and observe what other people are doing around you. I've even had to do that, ladies. When I went to London and I had tea at one of the oldest tea houses, there was a special fork that I had never seen before. It's okay to ask. And Lucy has shared this in the class. People actually take kindly to you wanting to follow the custom. So they're glad to inform you. If you don't know, oh, excuse me, I'm not familiar with this utensil. Can you tell me what it's for? And I learned there's a special cake fork. All right. So for your show and tell, we have our knife and we have our fork. All right. So you're going to hold them by the handles. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Ladies, hold them delicately. All right. So you're going to hold them with your forefinger on the top and your thumb underneath. These are simple things that you can practice, ladies, at home for free. You can get your own cutlery and try when you're eating alone to slow down and eat elegantly. We've shared before that a lot of times people will watch your table manners to see if you were raised by wolves or not. There's so many resources online, but none of this clubbing thing, you all have seen it. No, it's not elegant. And remember, if you arrive not hangry, you can take time to take small bites and get comfortable with the cutlery. It is a skill you can practice. What would you say, Lucy?
I agree. You don't have to know what each of those utensils means, but if you're at a table and start watching others how they use them, you can definitely figure it out. It's not rocket science, but it takes time to understand why they are placed the way they're placed, and it's okay to ask.
Absolutely, ladies. This is all about giving you the information so that you can continue the practice. There's so much in here. And like I always say, elegance never ages. And we're coming up on the holidays, right? Sometimes you may go to a company holiday party, or you may be invited to the in laws or a business associate. We just want to make sure that you feel comfortable in all environments. Of course, when you're home, you can be comfortable, but we want to make sure you are informed. All right. Hold the fork in your left hand and your knife in your right. All right. So I don't know if it shows up that way on the screen, but this is my left hand and my knife is on the right. This is actually how it will be placed on the table. So that's a tip for you, ladies. If you're doing any hosting, shout out to Lucy and me. We have a hosting class, which is on demand. Go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com if you want to find out what the host is responsible for and what guests are responsible for. So you're actually going to plate them if you plate them next to the table, knife on the right, fork on the left. Why? For most people, I know we have some lefties, but for most people, the right hand is your dominant hand. And so the eating gesture and the cutting gesture, you actually use the fork to pierce down and secure the food that you're going to bite, and then you use the knife in your dominant hand to cut it away from the rest of the chicken or the potato or whatever it is. And then you eat with that small bite. You don't cut everything up in one go like you're feeding the kids. You don't saw at it. I've seen people do this thing. We're not doing that. Ideally, the only amount that you want on the fork is a small enough bite that you can go directly from the plate to your mouth, holding the fork elegantly. The correct or the European or the continental style, you would not switch. Sometimes in America, we put the knife down and then we move to our right hand, and eat with the fork. If you want to be the most accurate, and this takes practice, ladies, keep that knife in the right hand. So you just secure your food, and then you can actually use the knife to kind of assemble a little bit of a bite on the fork, and then you go directly to your mouth. All right. Fork in the right, fork in the left and knife in the right. Cut and shovel food with the knife. So you want to cut off a little piece, and then the shoveling action is just while you have this bite of meat, let's say it's chicken, then you scrape a little bit of potato onto it. You scrape a little bit of vegetable or peas onto it. So you have everything on one bite. So you can see it's going to be a small bite, not the big shoveling of food that we do. At no point should you turn your fork around and continue eating in this manner. So, literally, the prongs of the fork in the most formal etiquette stay pointing down. Now, we know we do this, but I'm just sharing with you all if you want to be the most elegant. All right. Take some practice, but ladies, you can absolutely do it. What would you add, Lucy?
Yeah, and that maneuvering of utensils, it allows you to indeed think about the size of the bite that you're going to have. You do not want to have a humongous size steak going to your mouth and then just it's just not feminine. You want to start trying to do the smaller pieces. And again, it goes back to femininity is slow and it's gentle pieces, slow to bring your food to your mouth, and chewing slowly, and just gently.
Absolutely. And ladies, when you dine with others, it's never about the food, but you should enjoy and take your time to enjoy the food. Savor it. Don't inhale and toss it back. We talked about that yesterday. And I love this comment from Big Ben. Don't lick your fingers or toes. We had that conversation yesterday. I'm glad you all remember. But in all seriousness, when you have cutlery served with the course, that means it's intended to be eaten with cutlery. excuse me, there are some foods that are finger foods, okay? So if you go to what they would call like a bistro or a sandwich shop, then of course you pick that food up with your hands. But again, taking time to kind of survey, okay, there's cutlery here. That's how I'm supposed to eat it. So it will slow you down, especially when you need to practice. But dining is not supposed to be rushed. Elegance is not rushed. So make sure you take time. You don't arrive hangry. And when you put food in your mouth, proper etiquette is the amount that you have on the fork should be enough to go in with one bite and then release a clean fork. Okay. You shouldn't pull food away from your mouth. So keep that in mind when you're cutting your food or pinching off a piece of bread. It should be a bite sized amount that you can easily chew and swallow. It shouldn't be so much that your cheeks are out like that and no, we talked about that yesterday. Okay. When you eat, you're listening to others speak. When they eat, it's your time to speak. And of course, if someone asks you a question and then you have food in your mouth, it's totally fine to take a beat. They can obviously see that you're chewing. All right. So take time and keep your elegance. What are you all saying here? We will continue on. We have MGTOW Biologics says coaching the ladies to level up. Carry on. We are trying. We are so grateful that you all are here. Lucy and I have a passion for the community. Neither of us have daughters, so we love to give back. What are you all thinking so far? I'm just checking the comments. You missed the cooking, but this is more important. I'll be back in the kitchen soon. Last night was hilarious. I'm glad you all enjoyed. Okay, so let's see what else Vivienne says. Excuse yourself without announcing where you're going if you have to leave the table during dinner. I love this. Okay, so let's talk about this, ladies. When you arrive for either a family gathering or a work function or a networking event, if you've traveled far and you need to make a stop at the ladies, do that before the event starts. You should make sure that you are groomed, you are refreshed, whatever you need to do privately, take care of that. When dinner is served, the proper etiquette is you actually don't leave the dinner table until the dessert course. So you want to make sure that you're ready to dine with others because it's part of the flow. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. Try to pace your eating with what other people are doing. You don't want to be the first to finish and you don't want to be the last to finish because you had your phone out and then you needed to leave and you're doing whatever and everybody's waiting on the soup course, but you're still here with your salad. Again, etiquette and elegance is about simplicity and being considerate of others. So you never want to do anything that's going to make other people stop and now they're waiting on you. So handle all of that business, put your phone away, put it on do not disturb. However, in the rare case that you do need to leave, excuse me, please, then you step away quietly. You do not say, I'm going to the toilet. I need to take a leak. I've got a phone call. The babysitter's calling. Nobody needs to know that, ladies. Again, be elegant and be discreet. If you must, quietly excuse yourself. When you leave, you put your napkin in your chair. That signifies that you're coming back. You don't put your napkin on the table. Why? Because it will have food stains on it. You only put it on the table when you're done for the wait staff to clean it up. All right. So if you do need to leave, be discreet. What would you add, Lucy?
I agree with Maggie, and it goes back to always not being the person that calls attention for anything. So if you got to leave, if you know that you're going to have to be answering a telephone call, the call comes in, you let your the host know, hey, I might be getting a telephone call at so and so time. I may need to step away, and she'll know. That's the main person that needs to know what's happening. Otherwise, you just walk away, do your thing, and then come back without calling, making it a big deal. Why you're stepping out, why you're stepping away, because again, that goes back to not having the situation be all about yourself, but about everybody else.
I love that. Always moisturizing, ladies. I'm traumatized after that grooming episode. I'm just paranoid that I'm ashy. And then also, when you do come back, you don't announce what happened. You get right back into the flow of the meal, okay? And I know some of you might be thinking, and of course, some of you ladies or even modern women, it's like we have this culture where it's like, I need to shut down the party when I come in. I'm going to slay. I'm going to do all this. No, you are not. Allow people to be curious about you. Oh, I don't think we've met yet. Allow them to ask you questions and then you share about yourself. But if you need all eyes on you, you will get that attention and then people be like, oof, all right, we remember her. Allow people to lean in and ask for more. All right, let's see what else Vivienne says. Okay, this is the last one, ladies. Never blow your nose into a napkin at the table. Okay, this goes back to the grooming and hygiene. So, again, if you have allergies like me, right? Sometimes you may be a little bit runny, take an allergy pill, whatever you need to do. But any grooming should be done discreetly. All right. This is what I use to clean my glasses before I start. But ladies, I know sometimes you have tissues in your purse or whatever, but before you meet other people, go to the bathroom and take care of anything that you need to take care of. You shouldn't expose other people to that. This is a dining event. You want to make sure that others feel comfortable, just like you want to feel comfortable. In addition to blowing your nose, anything else? Picking your teeth, um, I'm just trying to think, fingers in your ears. We don't scratch our head. We don't comb our hair. We don't any of that. You don't even put lipstick on the tables, ladies. Lipstick on at the table. If your lipstick comes off a little bit when you eat and you're done at the end and you say, excuse me, you can go discreetly to the bathroom, apply, and then come back. But none of this grooming, none of this like swishing water around in your mouth or gargling. Like, I'm sure you all have some examples of some horror stories about grooming at the table, but no, none of that should be done in mixed company. What would you add, Lucy?
Yes, I'm sure we've seen some really interesting behavior. Uh, a woman in my office today belched like a dog worker. I mean, that is incredible. Who does that? Who does that? I do understand that there are some countries I hear that the belching like that is it's a compliment to the food or the cooking or whatever. Again, it goes back to what is customary in the culture. Here in Western culture, a lady does not belch like a dock worker or at all. I mean, you just don't do that.
At all, ladies, all of those bodily functions, no. Get it together. I mean, honestly, sometimes when I'm drinking sparkling water, I have to remember, oh goodness, a little bit of bubbles, but no. If you cannot handle yourself, then make sure your diet or your beverage choice does not put others make others uncomfortable. This is just unacceptable. And I know what Lucy's talking about. I've heard that as well in other cultures where it is a sign that the food was good. This is not one of them. Now, we
Right.
say when in Rome, but even though, ladies, even if you travel to other countries and it's customary to belch out loud, you don't have to do that. You
Right.
don't have to um, slurp the noodles if everybody else is slurping the noodles. You can still maintain and then just give a verbal compliment. I did see a question here from Ebony. Ebony says, if you have to leave, should you take your purse or leave it behind? Good question. I mean, I guess depending on the reason that you're leaving, if you're going to the bathroom to freshen up, I guess you may take a small purse. Um, and I guess it depends on the company. For me, I would leave it behind because I probably wouldn't have anything with me that I would be worried about. And I hope I'm not in the type of company that I would have to worry about that. So, this is a great question. Any valuables or large stacks of cash, ladies, just leave them at home. For a dining experience, you don't need them. Lock them in the trunk of your car. Ideally, when you're coming to eat with others, you have a very small purse, maybe even a clutch or something that can either go two places you can put it. in the small of your back, because again, remember, we're not sitting all the way back in the seat, so you have a little bit of room there, or it can go on your lap underneath your napkin, and our students know what to do with the napkin. Of course, if you have, I think Lucy talked about the little purse hangers or whatever, but excuse me, ideally, not those big tote bags like I used to carry with the laptop and the lunch box and the extra battery pack for your cell phone. Y'all, I was a bag lady. I used to have everything and anything. Sometimes, as moms, you want to be prepared for everything. I got wipes, I got mints, I got diapers. Okay, it's been a while, but you get what I mean. So I guess it's up to you, but ideally, you would leave it. What would you say, Lucy?
I agree. And generally, when you go to these fancy dinners, what you wear is a little clutch, a small purse, something that will only fit either your cell phone, your lipstick, your ID. And it's okay to take it with you. You're not going to take on, a bag like you're going to the beach and you have everything in there. No, it's just a little clutch that fits in your hand. You can definitely be discreet, bring it with you to maybe put your lipstick on when you go to the bathroom, or if you're going to get a phone call, take it with you as well. So again, it has to do with the situation. Hopefully you're not used to bringing a purse that will carry everything like Mary Poppins. So just think about the situation, and usually on those dinners it's a small clutch that you can take with you if you feel more comfortable having it with you.
Absolutely. I saw a comment here from Lisa. I didn't bring spoons, but we can talk about this. Lisa says, I was taught while eating soup to use a spoon front of bowl towards the back of the bowl. That is correct. Okay, ladies, this is a fork. I know that. So there are two different types of spoons. The teaspoon, you all know, is the one that's a little bit more pointed and small that you can use when stirring a beverage. And for stirring, here's your etiquette tip. It's not I don't even want to make it loud on the microphone, but clang, clang, clang. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Proper etiquette is quietly 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And you just want to do it small. It really shouldn't even touch the glass. That's proper etiquette. Okay. So you have a soup spoon, the pointed one. Sorry, that's the dessert spoon or the teaspoon for desserts. With that spoon, you eat forward and then remove the spoon. A soup spoon is the one that has the bigger bowl to it, okay? And Lisa is correct. Proper etiquette for soup, and I can nerd out on this. Don't worry if you don't know, but proper etiquette is to scoop away from you. Why? Because you don't want to come towards you and then it's dripping. So what you would actually do is you would go into the bowl and then you use the edge of the bowl to kind of scrape the rim of the soup so it's not dripping, or you could let it hang there for a second just so it's not dripping. And then with a soup spoon, proper etiquette is you bring it to your mouth and you kind of tilt it back from the side. So soup spoon, you eat from the side. Dessert spoon or teaspoon, you eat forwards. All right. Lots of different protocols about that. And Lucy and I are planning an in-person event for our alum spring of next year. So it'll be our fall students and our winter students. We're going to come here to Atlanta. We're going to have a private dinner where we can practice all of this. I'll find like a private dining room where we can have at least a 3-course meal and put all of this in practice. So if you want to join us in person, the Finishing School for the Modern Woman, we start again in January. Enrollment is open now. All right, how are you doing on time, Lucy? Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. MGTOW by Logic says, when we go out, my woman gives me her ID and phone. She carries nothing but herself. I love that. I love that. So, ladies, what's such a gentleman? That way you can just elegantly come in carefree. Clearly, well, I was going to say clearly she doesn't even have her wallet with her, but That's beautiful. So that's a great tip, ladies. That way, your hands are free to greet other people or be helpful or whatnot. You really don't need a lot. And that's another reason, back to, I think it was either day 4 or day 5, when we talked about the beauty routine and the grooming routine. You want to keep it elegant but simple, because you don't want to have the type of makeup or hair that every 30 minutes you've got to go, do stuff. Just be yourself. That way you can relax and enjoy the moment. So, yes, let your gentleman carry your essentials and leave the rest in the trunk. That's what my guy does. He's like, put your purse in the trunk. Okay, yes, sir. So that's what I do. Ah, UFO Kamikaze says, oh my gosh. He says Maggie is the female version of Kevin Samuels for women when it comes to style and grace. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that so much. I'm trying. I got a little emotional because I had a meeting today with Jeff Liscombe. You all know he is Kevin, the late great Kevin Samuels' best friend. And you all know, or if you don't know, I did book a session with the late great Kevin Samuels. He changed my life. That's why I'm here. I started quietly reacting to his videos in the Patreon, and the rest is history. And Lucy has a Kevin Samuels connection as well. She's been a moderator on his channel for a long time. And you all remember him saying, "Ain't that right, Luke Hazley?" What would you add, Lucy?
You sure are. And these tips, it's because Maggie has been taking these classes for quite a while, and it's not that she just takes the classes, but she practices what she learned. And that is something that we are learning from her. And it doesn't, these tips that she's giving us, it's not that we have to use them all at once. Little by little, if you remember, oh, the spoon, this is the reason that we have to do it from back to front to clean it up and then take it into our mouth. That is something that if you remember, use it. It's not like everybody's going to be watching you use the spoon the right way, because half of us don't even know how to use it correctly. But those are tips that are important to remember every time, just little by little, to start getting them into our regular routine.
Yes, I love that. And this is actually my heart to give back. I absolutely love this stuff. I'm surprised, you all. I didn't think anybody would care. But yes, I have been an etiquette student for a while. Social etiquette, business etiquette, conversation etiquette, wedding etiquette, and international etiquette from multiple teachers, because it's just one of those personal development skills that you can always refine. I'm just like y'all. I mean, we don't go fine dining, every meal, but it is
Right.
nice if you ever find yourself in mixed company, that you can just fit in and feel like you fit in. So thank you so much. What does Mona say? You ladies have been doing an amazing job with being consistent and giving us very tangible tips we can begin to apply in our life. I'm so happy to hear that, you all. So it's really important. I mean, I do private one-on-one coaching. You all can book a session with me. We have our group classes, we have on-demand courses, but it is important that we give back. And so usually Lucy and I are here once a week for the Ask Us Anything. But you all know I'm big on networking and making connections. And so when I reached out to Vivienne, and I have news. So we are done with the list. So if y'all have any questions, we can end on your questions. But when I reached out to Vivienne, y'all know I'll ask anybody if we could teach from her book. She said absolutely, and she has been watching because I've met with her since we started, and she has been very encouraging. And she told me, this is Vivienne Abena. So you all please check out her channel, Woman of Elegance. She has over 400,000 subscribers. And she said something to me that, be careful what you tell Maggie. She said, "Oh, you're doing a lovely job." And she's English. She's like, you're doing a wonderful job. And she said, if there's ever anything I can do, just let me know. Well, don't threaten me with a good time. So I asked Vivienne, I know we have some students in the chat, if she would be a guest speaker at our finishing school. And ladies, she said yes. I am so excited. So, in the next year, we will get a date where Vivienne Abena will come and speak to our students. Now, for our finishing school students, this is included in your tuition. For non students, whenever we have a guest speaker, we will make registration available for you to enroll if you want to get teaching from the best, just like we did with Sarah Badenova. Her course is available, teachablemoments with Maggie.com. She was a guest speaker, champion ballroom dancer. She held a workshop and taught us how to move as women. Um, but our students, one of the perks of the finishing school is you have access to guest speakers for life. And all of the sessions are recorded, so you can always go back and review, because it may be Easter and you're like, oh my gosh, what is the dining supposed to be? You can go back and review it. So yes, Vivienne is coming to speak to our students. So again, y'all, I am intentional about building a community of like-minded women. So I'm so glad you're here. Anything to add, Lucy?
Let's pull up Tara's comment. It's amazing. Ladies, you must enroll in the finishing school for the modern women. It's for every woman. We don't realize how masculine we have become just living in the West. Maggie and Lucy changed my life. She's,
Are you muted?
oh my God, all that,
No, I heard
no way.
you muted after you read Tara's comment. I'm glad it's
Oh
not
my
just me.
goodness. An amazing student, Tara, and the rest of the alum. Is it alumni or alumna?
Alumna,
Alumna.
since we're a girls' school.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the alumni, amazing. And what I wanted to say is that this is part of your personal development, and personal development is an investment. You must invest in yourself. If you don't, then nobody else will. And I think that if you're looking to find a different group of folks that have the same goal when it comes to elegance and etiquette, I think that you have to make sure that you invest in classes like these. And the finishing school for the modern woman has the 8 sessions that it's got. It's filled with so much information and so many useful tips that you can use every time that you come into those sessions. And you can tell us, okay, so I did this because we had the students tell us, oh, I used this that one time and it worked this way. So I think that investing in our school is just it should be part of your personal development.
I agree, ladies. So you can put it on your wish list. I think it's wonderful. And gentlemen, I know we have a lot of men in the chat. You can absolutely send your women to the school. Well, the other thing that I love, Tara is a mom and she has a daughter. And so this is something just like we're passing on to you, ladies, you can pass on to your nieces and daughters and sisters and whatnot. I mean, ultimately, just like Kevin Samuels had a vision for the community, I want you ladies to win. And, whether or not it's us or however you develop yourself, we have talked about, in all seriousness, make sure you're doing something that elevates you and not just entertains you. We all know the pop culture and the dance moves and all of that, and that is fine, but don't let that be the only thing that you're doing. I was listening to a personal development channel today, and they said just like muscles atrophy, Kevin Samuels used to say about your relationship muscles, the world that we live in, ladies, if you do nothing, you will become more masculine over time. It's just going to happen because it's fast paced, competitive, it's data driven. We have all the stuff that we're trying to shuffle around. So, by no fault of your own, you will find yourself louder than you want to be, harsher than you want to be, more rushed than you want to be, more masculine than you want to be. So just be mindful of that, ladies, and find something. If it's coming here, we love having you, but find something to maintain your softness. It is part of your self care, because if you take care of that inside, then you will respond instead of react, right? You will just be more graceful in your movement because you're feeding yourself and you're thinking thoughts that help you stay in touch with your feminine side. And like my man said, ladies, you're already feminine. You just have to stop fighting it. So, what does Bill H say here? Hi, Maggie. Hi, Bill. Is there any harm in licking a finger or two and eating ribs or other things drenched in a sauce, or should we always wipe away the excess with our napkins? Okay, well, Bill, you are a man, so do as you please. I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to use this as a teachable moment. Ladies, it is poor etiquette to correct someone else's etiquette. All right. So I'm only answering because Bill asked. But if you're at a barbecue or something and other people are licking their fingers, it's not for us to say anything. It depends on the environment and the occasion. If you are at a barbecue, 4th of July, or in the backyard with your family or birthday party or whatever, and you're relaxed and you're around, people you feel comfortable with, lick your fingers. I mean, my guy will lick his fingers, and I'm not going to say anything. This is really about women who want to be more elegant, just knowing that when you do that, it's not the most elegant. So use a napkin if you have it. But also, I'm always saying, for example, ladies, drink out of a glass, take small silent sips. Do I drink out of a can from time to time? Absolutely. But it's just one of the things I try to be intentional about to slow me down and be more delicate. But look, it's not about splitting hairs. It's just about being aware that, you know, I'm just imagining like I'm eating ribs and I'm just going to town on my fingers, and then the man of my dreams, I look up and he's looking at me like, "Wow, must be good." And I would just hate for a moment like that to happen. What do you say, Lucy?
I agree, but then there are men that will say, that was the cutest thing. I remember when I caught you licking on those fingers, and it was. So again, it has to be the right situation at the right time. When all else fails, just wipe your fingers. But if you feel that comfortable, just have at it.
Absolutely. Are we ready to wrap up, Lucy, or anything else?
I think we're good. I don't think that there are any questions or any
Okay, I
additional
don't see anything
comments.
either. So if you all have any last questions, go ahead and put them in as we wrap up. The Finishing School for the Modern Woman is open for enrollment. You can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. This series, your Elegance Boot Camp, we are up to day 14. Lucy and I are here with you every night, usually about 9 p.m., maybe a little change from here and there, but just keep your notifications turned on. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Lucy's YouTube. Excuse me, sparkling water, y'all. It gets me every time. Spotify. So I'm downloading these episodes, and we have a podcast on Spotify. We actually have two. If you're new to this space, we still have the weekly Ask Us Anything. So those have been uploaded to Spotify, Finishing School for the Modern Woman. And then this Elegance Boot Camp, Become Elegant in 30 Days, is also on Spotify. So you can listen on the go and share our content. So I don't see anything else. We're going to let you all have your evening. We do like a little 30-minute stream for you all. So come back tomorrow. Let's see. Are we good for tomorrow's Tuesday? Let's check. We do this every night.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm good with 9 p.m. Are you good with 6
Okay.
p.m.? All right.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Hello, before the billions. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and dismiss everyone. We will see you back here at the same time for day 15 of the Elegance Boot Camp. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night.
Adios.
Adios.